Welcome back. Get ready to dive into the world of Harry Potter, specifically the very first book, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. We're starting with a seemingly ordinary guy, Mr. Dursley, Harry's uncle. But his day takes a strange turn. You see, he starts spotting people in cloaks, owls everywhere, even shooting stars in broad daylight.
It's almost comical how Mr. Dursley, a man who thrives on routine, reacts to these oddities. He tries so hard to dismiss them, to cling to his sense of normalcy.
Right, and then he bumps into a stranger who casually drops the word muggle, leaving Mr. Dursley utterly confused. What's interesting is that this encounter, as funny as it is, hints at a much larger reality. The Dursleys actually know about the wizarding world,
Yeah,
and they've been keeping it a secret from Harry.
precisely. They know Harry's parents were wizards, and fear he might inherit their magical abilities. They try to suppress any sign of magic in Harry, hoping it'll just disappear if they ignore it.
Which is a pretty futile attempt, as we soon find out. Then comes the gamekeeper, Hagrid, bursting onto the scene, literally breaking down the Dursleys' door. It's such a dramatic entrance, a forceful intrusion of magic into their meticulously ordinary world. What do you think this symbolizes?
It's a powerful statement, wouldn't you say? Magic can't be contained or denied. It has a way of asserting itself, especially when it comes to Harry. Hagrid's arrival is just the beginning of magic, shattering the Dursleys' carefully constructed facade.
And shattering it, he does. He reveals to Harry that his parents were wizards, and that Harry himself is famous in the wizarding world. It's a lot for a young boy to process.
Absolutely. It turns Harry's entire world upside down. Imagine being told your parents weren't who you thought they were, and that you possess abilities you never knew existed. And then comes the even more somber news, the story of Harry's parents' death at the hands of Voldemort, and his failed attempt to kill Harry as a baby.
That's right. And Hagrid doesn't hold back on the details of Voldemort's cruelty and the devastation he caused. He tells Harry how Voldemort murdered his parents, but how, mysteriously, the killing curse rebounded on Voldemort, leaving Harry with just a scar. Why do you think Rowling chose to reveal this dark past so early in the book?
It establishes the stakes right from the start. It tells us that this isn't just a lighthearted tale of magic and wonder. There's a darkness lurking, a threat that Harry will inevitably have to confront. And it immediately raises the question of Harry's survival. How did he escape Voldemort's curse? It's a question that will drive much of the series.
With supplies in hand, Harry heads to Hogwarts, a place that will become much more than a school. But before that, there's the wonder of Diagon Alley, a hidden street bustling with magical shops and wonders.
Diagon Alley is like stepping into a dream. Wands, cauldrons, owls, even a bank run by goblins. It's a feast for the senses, a testament to Rowling's imaginative genius.
It's a stark contrast to the Dursleys' mundane world, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Speaking of contrasts,
Yeah.
Gringotts Wizarding Bank is particularly fascinating. Goblins managing money, vaults miles below London, guarded by who knows what. It's almost ominous.
It certainly hints at the darker side of the magical world. Hagrid mentions dragons guarding high-security vaults, and you can't help but wonder what other dangers might lurk in the depths of that bank. It reminds us that even in a world of magic, there are still risks and threats.
Then there's the pivotal moment in Ollivander's wand shop. The wand chooses Harry. But there's this curious connection to Voldemort. Ollivander mentions that the feather in Harry's wand came from the same phoenix that gave a feather for Voldemort's wand. He calls them brothers.
That moment sends chills down my spine every time I read it. It's our first glimpse into the profound connection between Harry and Voldemort. Their destinies are intertwined, linked by these twin wands, foreshadowing their future battles. It begs the question, what is the significance of this connection? What does it mean for Harry's future?
It's like their fates are woven together by this shared magical source. But this connection goes beyond wands. Remember, Harry has that lightning bolt scar because of Voldemort's attack. It's a physical manifestation of their link.
It's a constant reminder of Voldemort's attempt to kill him and the mysterious power that protected him. This intertwining of their destinies, marked by the scar and the wands, really hooks you from the start.
And as Harry steps into this new world, we discover alongside him the wonders and complexities of Hogwarts, the school of witchcraft and wizardry. He learns about the four houses, Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw, and Slytherin, each representing different values and traits. He even gets a taste of Quidditch, the wizarding sport played on broomsticks.
And let's not forget his encounter with Draco Malfoy, who quickly becomes his rival. Malfoy, with his aristocratic upbringing and prejudiced views, represents everything Harry opposes.
It's a classic clash of personalities, wouldn't you say? Malfoy's arrogance and disdain for those he deems unworthy instantly sets him at odds with Harry. Their rivalry, which begins in this first book, will play out in dramatic ways throughout the series.
Absolutely. Their first meeting, where Malfoy sneers at Ron's secondhand robes and family's hand-me-down wand, speaks volumes about their differing values. Malfoy embodies elitism and prejudice, while Harry values loyalty and friendship, as seen in his immediate connection with Ron.
That connection with Ron, and later Hermione, is so crucial to Harry's journey. They become his anchors, his confidants, his family in a way that the Dursleys never could be.
Their friendship is one of the most heartwarming and enduring aspects of the series. They support each other, challenge each other, and ultimately help each other grow.
Okay, let's move on to the sorting ceremony. A pivotal event for every student at Hogwarts. This is where the sorting hat, a magical hat with a mind of its own, determines which house each student belongs to. For Harry, it's a moment of truth.
And it's not a straightforward decision. The sorting hat actually hesitates, sensing both the potential for greatness and the darkness within Harry.
It even considers placing him in Slytherin, the house known for ambition and cunning, the same house that produced Voldemort.
The hat sees Harry's potential for power, his ability to achieve great things, but ultimately it chooses Gryffindor, the house known for courage, chivalry, and a strong moral compass.
And that decision, I think, is key to understanding Harry's character. He could have easily followed a path of ambition and power, but he chooses a path of courage and selflessness.
It's a powerful message, isn't it? That our choices define who we are, not our potential or our circumstances. And that choice, that act of defiance against what might have been his preordained path, sets Harry on a collision course with Voldemort.
And sets the stage for all the adventures and challenges to come. But for now, let's leave our listener with this. Harry has entered a world of wonder and magic, but also danger and darkness. What will he face next? How will he navigate this new reality? Stay tuned as we delve deeper into Harry's first year at Hogwarts.
As Harry settles into Hogwarts, he stumbles upon a mystery that'll have you on the edge of your seat. Remember that chocolate frog card he gets with Dumbledore's picture?
Oh, yeah. It mentions Dumbledore's work with Nicholas Flamel. At the time, it seems like just a fun fact. But as the story unfolds, you realize it's a crucial clue.
Exactly. And this is where Rowling's masterful storytelling shines. She drops these seemingly insignificant details that later become pivotal to the plot. It encourages you to think back, to connect the dots, to become an active participant in the mystery.
It's like she's challenging us to solve the puzzle alongside Harry. And then there's Snape, the potions master, who from the very beginning seems to have it out for Harry. Why do you think Snape is so antagonistic towards him?
Snape is an enigma, isn't he? He's harsh, sarcastic, and seems to relish any opportunity to deduct points from Gryffindor. His animosity towards Harry is palpable, making you wonder what's behind that resentment.
His behavior definitely fuels Harry's suspicion, especially when Harry overhears Snape talking about stealing something heavily guarded.
Remember that scene where Harry overhears Snape threatening Quirrell? Snape says something like, "And you won't be able to stop me, you know what I want." It's incredibly ominous. And it further solidifies Harry's belief that Snape is up to no good.
But Harry's focus soon shifts to a new mystery. The guarded Sorcerer's Stone. It's rumored to be hidden within Hogwarts, protected by numerous enchantments and magical creatures.
And it's Hagrid, in his endearing, somewhat clumsy way, who accidentally reveals the first layer of protection, Fluffy, the three-headed dog.
It's almost comical how Hagrid lets slip this crucial information during a casual conversation. He even tells Harry, Ron, and Hermione how to subdue Fluffy, which, of course, they later use to their advantage.
Hagrid's heart is always in the right place, but his inability to keep a secret often leads to some rather chaotic situations. But would you agree that this accidental reveal propels the trio into their first real adventure?
Absolutely. They become convinced that Snape is after the stone, and they feel compelled to stop him, even if it means breaking the rules. Their determination is admirable, especially considering they're only first-year students.
It speaks to their courage and their growing sense of responsibility. They recognize that something is amiss, and they refuse to sit idly by. This is where their friendship truly solidifies, wouldn't you say?
Definitely. They face a series of challenges designed by the teachers to protect the stone. From Professor Sprout's Devil's Snare to Professor McGonagall's life-size chess game, each challenge tests their skills, their wit, and their courage.
And through these trials, they learn to rely on each other, to leverage their individual strengths, and to work as a team. They realize that they're stronger together than they are alone.
And finally, they confront the person they believe is the thief. Professor Quirrell. But this is where Rowling throws us a curveball.
It's one of the most brilliant plot twists in literature. Quirrell, the seemingly bumbling and nervous professor, is revealed to be possessed by Voldemort. It turns out Snape was trying to protect Harry all along, thwarting Quirrell's attempts to steal the stone.
It's a moment that makes you question everything you thought you knew about Snape. It challenges your assumptions and forces you to reevaluate characters and their motivations.
It highlights the theme of deception and the importance of looking beyond surface appearances. It also demonstrates Rowling's skill in crafting complex characters who defy easy categorization.
And then there's Dumbledore, the epitome of wisdom and power, who arrives just in time to save Harry. He's always one step ahead. Even when it seems like everything is falling apart, it makes you wonder if he orchestrated events to test Harry.
Dumbledore's role is fascinating, isn't it? He's a mentor, a guide, but also a master strategist playing a long game. He seems to know more than he lets on, nudging events in the right direction without directly interfering.
He's like a chess master, moving pieces on the board to ensure a specific outcome. The stone is ultimately destroyed, ensuring its power can't be used for evil. But it's clear that this is just the beginning of Harry's journey, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. The first book lays the foundation for a much larger story, introducing us to the key players, the magical world, and the looming threat of Voldemort. But as we move into the second book, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, the stakes get even higher, the mysteries deeper, and the characters more complex.
Harry's second year at Hogwarts brings new challenges, new threats, and a chilling mystery that strikes the very heart of the wizarding world. He starts hearing a voice, a sinister whisper, that seems to emanate from the walls themselves. What do you make of this voice and the growing unease it creates?
The voice adds a layer of psychological horror to the story, wouldn't you say? It's unseen, unheard by others, and speaks directly to Harry's fears and vulnerabilities. It's a reminder of the darkness that lingers, even within the seemingly safe walls of Hogwarts.
And then there are the attacks. Students are being petrified, found frozen in a state of living death. The school is in a state of panic, and suspicion falls on Harry. Why is Harry targeted? And what does his ability to speak Parseltongue have to do with it?
This is where Rowling skillfully intertwines themes of prejudice and fear. Harry's ability to speak Parseltongue, the language of snakes, is viewed as a dark and dangerous skill. It links him to Salazar Slytherin, one of the founders of Hogwarts, who was known for his affinity with snakes.
Right. And since Slytherin was also known for his belief in pure-blood wizarding supremacy, Harry's ability becomes a point of contention, especially with Malfoy and his gang, who are quick to spread rumors and accuse Harry of being behind the attacks.
It's a classic example of how fear can be manipulated to fuel prejudice. People are scared, looking for someone to blame. And Harry, with his unusual ability and connection to Voldemort, becomes an easy target.
But despite the fear and suspicion, Harry, Ron, and Hermione refuse to believe that he's responsible. They know Harry, they trust him, and they're determined to uncover the truth. What do you think drives their unwavering loyalty to Harry, even when the evidence seems stacked against him?
It's the strength of their friendship, their deep-seated belief in Harry's goodness. They've seen his courage, his compassion, his willingness to stand up for what's right. They know he's not capable of the attacks, and they're willing to risk everything to prove his innocence.
And this loyalty leads them on another thrilling adventure, filled with more puzzles and challenges. Remember the dueling club scene, where Harry accidentally reveals his Parseltongue abilities?
That scene is so pivotal, isn't it? It's supposed to be a lesson in self-defense, but it quickly descends into chaos when Harry speaks Parseltongue and unintentionally unleashes the snake. It reinforces the fear surrounding him, pushing him further into the role of an outcast.
The irony is that Harry never wanted this ability, and he certainly doesn't want to be associated with Slytherin's dark legacy. But it's a part of him, a part of his connection to Voldemort, and it's something he'll have to learn to control and understand.
It's a powerful metaphor for the challenges we all face in accepting parts of ourselves that we might not like or understand, and it highlights the theme of duality that runs throughout the series, the light and dark within each of us.
Speaking of duality, we can't forget about the Chamber of Secrets itself. It's a hidden chamber within Hogwarts, rumored to be home to a monstrous creature that only the heir of Slytherin can control.
The Chamber, with its history of secrecy and dark magic, represents the hidden dangers that lurk beneath the surface of even the most seemingly safe and familiar places. It's a reminder that history can repeat itself, that the past can cast a long shadow over the present.
And the stakes get even higher when Ginny Weasley, Ron's younger sister, is taken into the chamber. Now, It's not just about solving a mystery, it's about saving a life.
This is where Harry's courage is truly tested. He knows he has to face the unknown, to confront the monster in the chamber, even if it means risking his own life. And he does it all with the help of his friends, his wand. And a surprising artifact, the sword of Godric Gryffindor.
And here's where we get another shocking reveal. The heir of Slytherin is none other than Tom Riddle, a memory preserved in a diary, a younger version of Voldemort himself. This is our first real encounter with the concept of a Horcrux.
A Horcrux is a powerful and dark object in which a wizard or witch has hidden a fragment of their soul, ensuring their immortality. Voldemort, obsessed with conquering death, created several Horcruxes, making him incredibly difficult to defeat.
It's a chilling realization that even if Voldemort is defeated in his physical form, a part of him will live on in these hidden objects. It adds a whole new dimension to the conflict, doesn't it?
Absolutely, it raises the stakes exponentially and foreshadows the long and perilous journey Harry will face in his fight against Voldemort. He's not just fighting a powerful wizard, he's fighting for the survival of his soul.
And in the end, Harry destroys Tom Riddle's diary. One Horcrux down. But several more to go. It's a victory. But it comes at a cost. Ginny is safe, but the experience leaves her traumatized. And the Chamber of Secrets remains a chilling reminder of the darkness that exists within the wizarding world.
This second book deepens the mystery surrounding Voldemort, introduces the terrifying concept of Horcruxes, and reveals a hidden history of prejudice and fear that continues to haunt Hogwarts. It also demonstrates the power of friendship, courage, and love in the face of overwhelming darkness.
But as we move into the third book, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, the tone shifts, becoming more mature, more complex. We're introduced to Sirius Black, the dangerous escaped prisoner believed to be responsible for the deaths of Harry's parents. What can you tell us about Sirius, and how does his arrival change the course of the story?
Sirius Black is a fascinating character, full of contradictions and shrouded in mystery. He's introduced as a villain, a threat to Harry's safety. But as the story unfolds, we learn that things are not what they seem. He's a pivotal figure who will challenge everything Harry thought he knew about his past and his parents' deaths.
And with Sirius's arrival, the world of Harry Potter takes a darker turn, exploring themes of betrayal, loss, and the blurred lines between good and evil. But that's a deep dive for another day. As we delve into The Prisoner of Azkaban, a sense of unease hangs over Hogwarts. The threat of Sirius Black, an escaped convict believed to be dangerous and aligned with Voldemort, has everyone on edge. What struck you about the introduction of Sirius Black?
He's painted as a terrifying figure, a murderer capable of unspeakable acts. There are wanted posters everywhere depicting him as a crazed, wild-eyed fugitive. But there's also a sense of mystery surrounding him. Why is he after Harry? What's his connection to Voldemort? These unanswered questions really hook you from the start.
It's like a shadow looming over the entire book. And this time, the danger feels much more personal to Harry. It's not just about protecting the wizarding world, it's about protecting himself from someone who seemingly wants him dead.
Exactly. This personal threat adds a new layer of intensity to the story. And then you have the Dementors, the soul-sucking guards of Azkaban prison, who are brought in to protect Hogwarts from Sirius. They add this chilling psychological element to the story that's unlike anything we've seen before.
The Dementors are more than just guards. They represent despair, hopelessness, the very absence of joy. They literally suck the happiness out of you, forcing you to relive your worst memories. It's a pretty heavy concept for a children's book, wouldn't you say?
It's definitely a darker theme, and it speaks to Rowling's willingness to explore complex emotions and experiences, even in a story about magic and wonder. The Dementors become a powerful metaphor for depression, anxiety, the darkness that can sometimes cloud our minds.
And Harry seems particularly susceptible to their influence. Whenever they're near, he's overwhelmed by these feelings of dread and despair, hearing his mother's screams from the night she was murdered.
That's a crucial detail, isn't it? It suggests a deeper connection between Harry and the Dementors, perhaps linked to the trauma he experienced as a baby, and it emphasizes the importance of facing your fears and finding ways to combat them.
Thankfully, Harry has Remus Lupin, the new Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher, to guide him. Lupin is kind, intelligent, and a skilled wizard, but he also harbors a secret. He's a werewolf.
Lupin's character is so well developed. He's a sympathetic figure, ostracized and feared because of his condition, even though he's a good person. He represents those who are marginalized and misunderstood, and his story highlights the importance of empathy and acceptance.
And despite his own struggles, he becomes a mentor to Harry, teaching him the Patronus Charm, a powerful spell that repels Dementors. It's interesting how the Patronus charm requires you to focus on a happy memory, a source of joy and love.
It's a beautiful concept, isn't it? It suggests that even in the darkest of times, we can draw strength from positive memories, from the love and happiness we've experienced. And for Harry, his most powerful memory is of his parents, even though he doesn't remember them clearly.
It shows that their love continues to protect him even after their deaths. But back to Sirius Black. Throughout the book, there are these hints, these glimpses of a different Sirius, someone who might not be the villain he's made out to be.
Remember those mysterious acts of kindness? Like the firebolt broom that arrives anonymously for Harry, and the clippings from the Quidditch World Cup that someone keeps sending him? These subtle clues plant seeds of doubt in your mind, making you wonder if there's more to Sirius than meets the eye.
And then comes the big reveal. Sirius was actually Harry's father's best friend and his godfather. He was falsely accused of betraying the Potters to Voldemort and murdering their friend Peter Pettigrew.
It's a mind-blowing twist that completely changes your perception of Sirius. He goes from being the villain to a tragic figure wrongly imprisoned for 12 years. And it turns out that Peter Pettigrew, who everyone thought was dead, is actually alive and well disguised as Ron's pet rat, Scabbers.
Talk about a shocking reveal. And it's Hermione, with her sharp wit and incredible detective skills, who puts all the pieces together, exposing Pettigrew for the traitor he is.
It's a testament to Hermione's intelligence and her unwavering belief in her friends. She's not swayed by popular opinion or appearances. She trusts her own deductions, and she's willing to stand up for what she believes is right, even if it means going against the grain.
And then there's the Time Turner, a magical device that Hermione has been secretly using all year to attend all her classes. It allows her to travel back in time to relive moments and change the course of events.
The Time Turner adds a fascinating element to the story, wouldn't you say? It plays with our understanding of time and causality, and it allows for some pretty exciting moments of suspense and resolution.
Right, and it ultimately leads to Harry and Hermione saving both Sirius and Buckbeak, the Hippogriff, who was wrongly sentenced to death. It's a thrilling climax, a victory against injustice, and a testament to Harry's growing power.
And it brings back the theme of choice. Harry and Hermione, by going back in time, are able to make different choices to change the outcome of events. It suggests that we have the power to shape our own destinies, to fight against what seems inevitable.
By the end of The Prisoner of Azkaban, the world of Harry Potter has expanded significantly. We've encountered new characters, delved into darker themes, and witnessed the power of friendship, love, and courage in the face of adversity. But the threat of Voldemort still looms large, and Harry's journey is far from over. What's your final thought for our listener as we conclude this deep dive?
The Prisoner of Azkaban marks a turning point in this series. It's a more mature, more complex story that explores themes of betrayal, loss, and the blurred lines between good and evil. It also introduces characters who will play significant roles in Harry's future, both as allies and as adversaries. As you continue your journey through the Harry Potter books, remember to keep an open mind. Challenge your assumptions, question what you think you know, and be prepared for the unexpected. The magic of Harry Potter lies not just in the spells and creatures, but in the power of storytelling, the exploration of human nature, and the enduring belief in the triumph of good over evil.
And that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for joining us on this magical deep dive into the world of Harry Potter. We'll be back soon with another adventure. So until then, keep the magic alive.